Fox Sports 1's Joy Taylor, in the beginning of the month, claimed that Caitlin Clark wasn't relevant until Angel Reese made her so. Taylor claimed that nobody was paying attention to Clark until Iowa took on LSU in the 2023 National Championship game. Taylor said, "We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before Angel Reese walked up to her and did this." So she actually mimicked the waving her hand in her face and pointed to the ring. "This is not my opinion. I lived it. I watched it. It was recorded. It was broadcast live. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before that moment." So when Clark's fans found out about this, Taylor's affirmations were completely crippled at that moment. Her fans found clips of Clark being interviewed by Stephen Smith an entire year before the 2023 national title game resurfaced. So the same day that Joy Taylor was on the show Speak for Yourself, LaShawn's Shady McCoy was on as well. He had a little bit of a different take on this. McCoy said Angel Reese rode on Clark's popularity and sought a piece of the attention by going at her since there are many eyes on Caitlin Clark. He thinks that Reese searches for the attention. I cut up the interviews a tiny bit to make them not as long. They are next. It's Taylor first, then a little bit of Stephen Smith, and then McCoy. Let me know what you think about what Joy Taylor has to say. Let me know what you think about what Shady McCoy has to say. I'm also curious about what you think when Joy Taylor said that no one was paying attention to Caitlin Clark until the Hawkeyes took on the Tigers in the 2023 National Championship game and then was proven wrong. Let's discuss this. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Leave your comments down below. We'll talk soon.
What's your reaction to Reese's comments?
She's not wrong. You said it's polarizing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What does the definition of polarizing mean? It means there's one side or the other, right? If it's not polarizing, it's just a cheeky conversation. Yeah. Polarization requires debate, requires passion. People feel very strongly about opinions. They want to argue one side or the other. How did that happen? How did we get here? What she just said, the national championship game. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before Angel Reese walked up to her, did this, and pointed to the ring. This is not my opinion. I lived it. I watched it. It was recorded. It was broadcasted live. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before that moment. You can be extremely talented and not interested. There are a lot of extremely talented athletes and games and series and sports that we don't talk about daily on the show because the public has not shown enough interest in them. That moment launched their careers. This is Bird and Magic. It's not a perfect comp, but it is the path in which launched this conversation, this polarizing conversation that has everyone captivated. Sometimes something interesting has to happen that sparks an interest. Did Caitlin earn the attention by being a great player? Yes. Was Angel Reese in her face doing that because she was winning a national championship, which Caitlin was not doing? Yes. They both needed each other in that moment. It created the conversation. It launched a great platform for this year's tournament, which was very heavily watched, the most ever, and Caitlin came back better than she was the year before. And they both went into the draft, and now they are both in the WNBA, and we care about both of these players. There are a lot of people that care about Angel Reese. That doesn't mean she's as good as Caitlin Clark. It also doesn't mean that what she's saying is not true, because multiple things can be true at the same time. Just because she said this does not mean that Caitlin Clark is not great and that people are not watching because Caitlin Clark is great. All she is saying is, and she is factually correct, the two needed each other. She was a part of that. And it's inarguable because that is what happened. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark on these shows. We were not debating women's sports and women's basketball on these shows before that moment happened.
To call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream, in a real world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, obviously. Those are the players I kind of grew up watching. Obviously, Steph Curry's kind of changed the game, and he's a player I grew up loving. I still love. I watch him all the time. So it's kind of crazy seeing all those NBA players, WNBA players tweet about you, talk about you. But, you know, I still enjoy every single second of it for sure.
Do you feel right now you're the best player in women's college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I think my teammates would say the same. My coaches would say the same. I think there's always room to improve, and I think, you know, only being a sophomore, there's always room for growth, and still have 2 more years here. So, you know, I still have plenty time to grow before, you know, I go pro, and that's where I want to be. I want to reach the next level. I want to play in the WNBA. So those are my goals long term.
You wanna go?
Somebody got followed.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna speak from my point of view, right? Because she said we weren't really following the game until they had the arguments, whatever, right? But I wasn't really a huge fan of WNBA, right? I would watch here and there some certain players, but I wasn't like really in tune. But then once I seen Caitlin play, right, before the hand motions and all that, I'm like, dang, is that Steph Curry with a ponytail? That's what I thought, right? So before anything happened with LSU or Iowa, the girl got my attention for the way she was playing the game. So that's how I got involved in the game, right? When we talk about, like, Angel saying that she had a part of it, you are right about that. She did. I think she really searched for that attention, right? If you really watch what was going on, when Caitlin even did all this, that wasn't even to that team. It was a whole different team. When they played each other, she was seeking for it. She kept trying to find her to do this to her, get the attention. I watch these girls play, and I feel like myself and everybody else is really watching the women play now. They want to see Caitlin play basketball, right? I feel like all the attention that she earned from playing basketball. I think Angel, I think she's a cool player. I think most of her attention she's earned from outside of the game. When I watch her play, does that look special? You think people are coming to tennis to see some rebounds? She averaged 11 points. Let me get the numbers for you guys, because so much we're talking about her.
8.9 rebounds.
Cool. So 11 points per game. That's the 5th highest on her team, right? And then she's averaged nine rebounds. That's cool. So when we look at the attendance, like, who's really watching the games, right? She says it's not just one person, it's both of us. So Angel's team, right, in Chicago, and their attendance, 6,000, 6,000, 12,000, 9,000, 8,000, 8,000, and then 17,000. Whoa, why was it 17,000? Who she played? Who you think she played? Caitlin Clark. I don't know if it's me or what it is, or these numbers are crazy, but everybody's coming to watch a superstar player. When I watch the games, when I see Chicago plays, I don't see no super crazy game plan defense for Angel Reese. Do y'all?
No.
When I watch Caitlin play, they guard her everywhere. Guard her out of bounds when she's on the bench getting arrested. They guard her everywhere. So all I'm saying is, like, I get what she's saying, but she seek that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Caitlin. Every interview, every tweet, everything is about Caitlin. I haven't yet to see Caitlin even respond to her yet. Oh, I get it. Everybody's watching women's basketball now. Who's the real reason? Yes, you are right. Reese has a small amount of that, right? But the other real credit goes to Caitlin, not just because what she's doing outside the court and she's waving her hand and all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball. And the last thing is, they're not even close talent-wise, though. Let's keep it real. But all I'm saying is, when I really watch these games, right, me and other people and the other coaches that's coaching against Caitlin, it's the reason why they are guarding her like that. It's the reason why the game plan for a rookie is being played like that.